Hello, I'm Tony Svejcar with the Agricultural Research Service and the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center, and I'm here to present an Ag Minute. About a month ago, I presented some of the accomplishments of other ARS locations. In one of the segments, I mentioned the development of decision aids. It occurred to me after I taped that segment that many folks may not be familiar with the term decision aid or decision tool. In its simplest form, a decision aid is simply a way of organizing information or knowledge in a way that helps people make decisions. They can range from a simple diagram to a complex computer model. I think it's unfortunate that much of the focus in recent years has been on the more complex computer models. These are generally referred to as decision support systems. While they can be very useful, they often require week-long training sessions, and most of us simply will not take the time to become familiar with these systems. I'll focus on some of the simpler decision tools during the rest of this week. If you come in and talk to our outstanding animal nutritionist, Dave Bonnert, he can quickly punch out some numbers on least cost rations for various classes of livestock. There are very useful software programs that have livestock requirements and nutritional characteristics of feeds already entered. All a person needs is the cost of the various feed components, for example, cottonseed meal, alfalfa hay, soybean meal, meadow hay, and so on, and a target rate of gain or body condition score. The program does the hard work. Well, actually feeding is the hard work, but at least you know what to feed. It sure beats a bunch of hand calculations. Today I want to talk about some of the decision tools we have for dealing with weeds. We have software that helps identify weeds and provide suggestions for controlling those weeds. Most of these programs have been developed for cropping systems, and there are a few available for those of us who currently work in rangelands. One of the things we hope to do at the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center is to develop tools for weed prevention programs. Most rangelands are currently weed-free, but it will take an effort to keep them that way. We hope to develop tools which will help identify sites most at risk of weed invasion. A second goal is to determine the spread vectors or the factors that cause the weeds to spread. Taken together, we envision a map-based system that will help managers decide where to look for early invasions and what factors might be causing the spread. I hope that within a couple of years we will be reporting on the success of this approach. This week I've been talking about decision tools that are useful for livestock and rangeland managers. One of the most basic decision tools is simply a synthesis of knowledge or information. In fact, this is the most consistent demand we hear from natural resource managers. Most managers do not have the time to collect piles of scientific literature and make sense of it all. They would like those of us in the research community to serve that function, and we should. Along those lines, several of us from the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center recently published a synthesis of the current knowledge on western juniper. We had 2,000 copies printed this summer, and right now we're nearly out. We hope to print more soon. We were able to include nice color pictures, a summary of the basic biology and ecology of these species, and factors to consider in managing western juniper. I think this publication will serve as a model for future efforts. This week I've been talking about decision tools for livestock producers and rangeland managers. Many of the tools should be of interest to a wide variety of natural resource managers, including hydrologists, wildlife managers, fisheries folks, and so on. I think that in the future, many of us in the research profession will be trying harder to deliver decision-making tools to land managers. During a recent retreat for our scientists and faculty from the Rangeland Department at OSU, we agreed that we needed to synthesize information on important topics on a regular basis. It takes a great deal of effort and resources to do that correctly, but there is also a large payback. Yesterday I mentioned the Juniper Synthesis Bulletin that we published this summer. I think we've received more positive feedback about that bulletin than on any other single publication we've written. Most people would much rather pick up one 80-page publication than the hundreds of publications that it summarizes. I'm Tony Svejcar. Thanks for listening.